Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're back at it again. Today I wanted to share with you guys how I personally struggle as a minimalist. Now, one of the things that is one of my weakness is when it comes to spending a lot of my hard-earned money on food. That's really hard for me, and I do believe that there's a fine line between being a minimalist and being frugal. I believe that the two kind of go hand in hand. So as for me, although I'm a minimalist in so many ways, I'm a foodie, guys. I'm a tourist. For all my Tauruses and bulls out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. When people say, hey, what would it take for someone like me to get inside of a heart of someone like you? And I'm like, well, the weight of my heart is really to my stomach. Just feed me real good and promise to be loyal to you, and I'm yours forever. Really. That's how simple it is. So I am such a foodie. It's my weakness. It doesn't matter if and it doesn't necessarily mean I'm picky either. Like, as long as it's good food, it could be anything. It could be ethnic. It could be something fancy like a steak, or it could be something as simple as scrambled eggs. Good food is good food. And not only for the fact that I am a foodie, I've always been one since I was little, and reason being why my mother actually gave me the nickname of, I'm gonna translate it for you guys, but she always used to call me buaya. In our country, that means like alligator or crocodile, because I've always been long and lean, but I could eat. And when I tell you I could eat, okay? You would think you're feeding like two grown men. So that's always been a part of just me, a part of being Chris. And so it's a weakness of mine, because for the most part, as soon as I get paid, it's like the grocery stores is my weakness. So it's not necessarily, being a minimalist doesn't mean that, okay, so you have to stop. Of course, as human beings, we have to eat, right? We have to eat. So in that way, but it's about kind of like somewhat like a discipline of really kind of analyze and discipline yourself to, okay, am I shopping for this particular item or food because it's on sale and it's buy one get one free, or buy one or buy three for the price of one? Or is it because, oh, I'm missing those ingredients at home, so I'm gonna stick to that because that's what I came here for? So you kind of have to discipline yourself and remind yourself that's the kind of mentality you need to hang on to when you walk into a grocery store. Because I tell you, I lose it. The moment I walk in there, it's like, and it's over. So for me, what helps me, some of the things I do is I'll make a list, whether if it's on like a sticky note or it's on a napkin. Sometimes I'll even write it on my hand or on my cell phone. So I'll make a list of the things I need. I'm like, okay, based on what I have at home, what are the missing ingredients that I need in order for me to use up what I have at home? For example, like today, I went to the store, so I know I had eggs at home already, and I had a few vegetables. I still have like a few packages of brown rice, and I still have some tortillas left. But I was missing like the little things, like I needed onions, I needed tomatoes, or the little things like that, or maybe seasoning or oil. So you want to just make sure you're buying things. If you do have to buy, as much as possible, try to discipline yourself to eat everything you have at home first before heading to the grocery store. Because like I said, it's for someone like, if you're someone like me, you know the deal. You know how hard it is. I don't even have to be hungry. A lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't shop hungry, but I'm like, but I'm not hungry. I'm hungry up here than my stomach. So I try to really stick to, I don't want to to say strict, but in a way you kind of have to be strict if you're really serious about saving money, and also, most importantly, not just to save money, but I'm all for anti-waste. I'm not the best eco-friendly, human being on earth, but I do my best. Like, I bring my own water bottle instead of buying water bottles outside. I really reuse everything that I have at home and try to utilize what I have rather than just keep spending to create more waste. Also try to, I use the same bag, like the grocery bag that I have. I have a reusable one. Also, like, for instance, if I have to buy foods, as much as possible, I do want to, like, kind of stick. I'm not a vegetarian, although I would like to be, but I'm not. To stick to a lot of whole foods too, because let's face it, guys, snacks, all of those things come in packages, and it's really hard to avoid. But in my case, wherever I can, make smarter decisions and try to also be eco-friendly and try to be do what's best for the environment, I'm all for it. That being said, I'm going to show you some of the recipes that I use that's really quick and easy for me to batch cook, and it's gonna give me, at least 2 to 3 meals or 2 to 3 days worth of meals. So in that way, it's gonna stop me and kind of prevent me from buying food out, because that's another thing. It only takes one day of going to school or going to work that you forget your lunch, and now what? So you're stuck having to buy whatever's around. And a person like me who works in a city where the prices are 3 times as much as where I'm residing at the moment. So there's a lot of factors that I have to consider in terms of, okay, what's the best alternative right now, and what's something easy, because that's another thing too. I know it would be smarter in terms of your finances to be able to prep food ahead of time so you can prevent yourself from buying food out. But there's a trade-off, right? It's not like, oh yeah, I could just prep and it saves me money. But at the end of the day, what are you really spending? You're not spending more money, but you're spending time, right? So it's also balancing that, sweet medium to see, okay, what makes sense to me right now. So you have to also create a schedule for yourself. Let's say your day off is in the middle of the week or Wednesday, so try to batch cook on those days. Or if you have Wednesday and Saturdays off, so Wednesdays you do your batch cook, and Saturdays is you do your other chores like clean the house, do a deep clean, do your laundry. It's also about being organized, and that's what I love about being a minimalist. I'm not the most perfect minimalist, because due to certain situations in life that come up that you don't really plan for, you end up spending more. But it's a mindset. It's about shifting your mind and how you make decisions on a day-to-day basis. Now, I have a lot of crap, guys, because I had decluttered a lot during the pandemic lockdown in 2020. However, even though I had gotten rid of a lot of things that I was able to give away to neighbors and just people in my community, a lot of donation centers closed, and a lot of them also never opened back in 2021. They officially closed, so it's been very difficult for me to find a donation center that I could give my things to and donate my things to. So what I've been doing is I also started selling some of my things, but that only worked for me while I wasn't working, while I was working part-time during the pandemic, because who was working? Everyone was home basically. So I was one of those people. I was home a lot. So during those times I was able to sell a lot of the things that I had, because the post office were still open. However, it wasn't enough, because you sell 1 or 2 things. It doesn't mean everyone's gonna buy everything that you post. I use, places like eBay or Mercari or Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of platforms out there where you could use in order to sell your things. But again, that's also another topic to where, how much time do you really want to spend, and is it worth it just to make like 20 bucks? You know, for that, you could just work to get the 20 bucks again and just give that to someone who can find value in those items. That being said, you know, I really just try my best to kind of utilize what I have right now, so it's not just sitting there collecting dust, but at the same time, the things that I do want to get rid of, I have started to pack up, which I'm really proud of myself. Woohoo! I had already given away just this month alone for the, well, actually it's already February in the time of filming this video, but I was able to declutter at least like a whole garbage bag of clothing and shoes. Maybe I'll show a clip of that in here, if I could find the clips that I had filmed for that day. And I gave it to one of my employees, and she was so happy. And that's another thing too about being a minimalist. It's like the joy you see when you give someone, you know, something that, you know, just give it to them. Just wholeheartedly give it to them, and just to see the joy in their face, because they will find value and use of those things rather than me keeping it, saying, oh, I want to keep it because I spent money on it. But guess what? I'm gonna give you some tough love. The money's gone. The money is gone. It's not coming back. You could earn more money in the future, because there's a lot of money in the world, and there's enough for all of us, okay, and much more. So that's another thing you have to think about. Money's always gonna come. It's always gonna come. The world's not gonna run out of money for you, so don't ever worry about that. But I was able to give it to her, and she was so happy. She was so happy. She was like, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. And luckily, because, you know, she was one of the people that I know who can fit into my things and fit into my clothes and fit into my shoes. And they were like, guys, it's really bad, but yes, it's really bad because they were brand new. A lot of them had tags on them, and maybe like one of the shoes I only wore once on a date years ago. Brand new condition, brand new, but the trade-off was worth it. It was, and you know, we're still early in the year, so I kind of just considered it as like a holiday gift to her. And so it really, you know, you gotta think about the joy. It means so much more than regretting, like, oh, I spent so much money on this and what a waste. No. There's a lot more things that I value and mean way more to me than just, you know, sitting there and crying about money that's not coming back, you know? But anyways, so with that being said, I am going to show you guys, because, you know, I tend to stray away from the topic if I don't stay focused. So my apologies, you know, but that's just me. You know, I can be a bit of a chatterbox when it comes to, you know, talking about something that I'm really passionate about, you know. In real life, not that I'm saying that this is not real, but I mean like out in the world when I'm not filming, I tend to be more of an introvert. But you know, since, you know, I'm just filming now and I'm just talking about something that I'm very passionate about, you know, I get carried away. I could just go on and on and talk for 7 days straight if y'all don't stop me. So, but perhaps I'm gonna show you guys what I prepped at least today, and I'll also show you guys what I prepped last week. And if you want, I could leave like the ingredients and the link comments below if you guys are interested. Again, this is completely subjective, all right? So if you're coming in this channel thinking this is a cooking channel, that ain't it. You know, you know, you have people who are vegan or pescatarians, and you know, people who just eat meat, or people who just eat fish. Or people who just like fruits, and you know, this is, it's the same with fashion, and it's all going to depend on your preference. Okay, this is just me sharing what I do. If you enjoy it, feel free to use it. If if I can bring some type of value into your life, and is there anything that I could show you and give to you and that you could use in your life to help you in your minimalism. I don't want to say journey, because there's really nowhere to go. It's not really a journey. It's more of like just altering your life to make a change and to be able to make it a lifestyle. You know, it's regardless if you notice it or not, it's about the daily decisions that you make. Just every day, just you getting up in the morning. You know, everything you do, every decision you make, you have to incorporate, you know, that mindset. It's really a mindset shift to be able to think that way. And of course, it's all about what makes sense to you. You know what I mean? What makes sense to me may not make sense to you. You know, maybe for you, you spend too much money on handbags. I'm not really into bags. I'm good if I just have maybe like two, maybe like one backpack, and I'm not counting the luggages, by the way, for travel, and one small pouch. You know, maybe that's good enough for me. And for you, maybe, you know, you like to have one of every color. You want a dark one for the winter time, you want a light one for the summertime, and you want more like a neutral for the fall. Wherever you can adjust that makes sense to you, do that. This is just me using this medium to be able to, you know, perhaps, hopefully, share what I use and how I go about things, and hope that I could, you know, bring some value into your life. And whoever is struggling out there, and if you do have any questions, if there's anything that you would like to see, would like to know, comment down below. That's the only way we can connect. You know, I'll leave my social media platforms down there too if you want to connect in a more casual way. You know, something that's a little bit more just laid back and relaxed. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and share some clips that I had filmed regarding the meal plans, and I think that's a wrap. A few things here. We have the carrots, tomatoes, and then I have red onions. I'm going to be using coconut oil today because that's the only thing I have right now. Sometimes I'll use butter. I don't really have like regular vegetable oil right now, or canola oil. I mean, it's not really good for you. It's probably better if you have like olive oil or extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil. So I am going to heat the pan up now, okay, and then this is my choice of meat. Now this is, I believe, corned beef. We make these a lot in the Philippines, and I believe people in Brazil too, this is kind of like a traditional, I don't know if they have it for breakfast or you know, you can pick whichever meat you like. You can either do corned beef, or you could do Spam. I mean, I know Spam is not really good for you, but just something quick and easy to meal prep. This is normally what I would do. I had showed you the tuna mix that I made the other day. Perhaps I'll leave the ingredients in the link below, or I'll link the ingredients in the comments below, and so if you guys are interested in what I put in it. Of course, if you don't like tuna, you can also use chicken, but on that occasion I made tuna. So again, now while this is heating over here, I can feel it's already starting to get hot. I'm gonna start making, I'll probably do the onions first with the coconut oil and go from there, and then I'll show you the finished product, or at least once it's almost done. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm showing you the current situation. I've gone ahead and put the meat in, and as you can see, I have the onions in there and the carrots. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cook this for a little bit longer till it actually gets a little bit more kind of not crispy and burnt, but I kind of do like it kind of crispy. I don't know, or maybe that's just for me. So I'm gonna leave this on here. I've gone ahead and lowered the heat, and then maybe just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to add our tomatoes. And I'm actually thinking adding a few eggs. I might crack a few eggs in there, maybe 4. Yeah, I'm thinking 4 to 5 eggs if I have enough. I think I have 3 or 2 eggs left, so I'm gonna check my fridge to see if I have any eggs left, because no, I am not going back to the grocery store. So that's what we have right now. So normally what I would do is, if I'm having something like this, is I would either have it with rice, but the only kind of rice I really like to eat is brown rice or quinoa. Or if I don't have quinoa or I don't have rice, I also go for, I think I have some here. Let me see. Yes. I'll do it with like corn tortillas. I love corn tortillas. So I'll either have that with this, and I'm telling you guys, it fills me up. Maybe I'll have a salad next to it if I want to, if I'm feeling like it. And it's a great way for me to make a bunch, just probably batch cook. Put it in the fridge, put it in a container, put it in the fridge, and I'll have it for lunch. I'll just heat it up and maybe heat up this the following day. And there goes my lunch. And it's a perfect way to avoid eating out. So you could at least, stick to your budget and avoid spending a lot of money on food. Ta-da! Here is the finished product, you guys. I know it's a mess, but I promise you, it's delicious. So after this cools down for a bit, I am just gonna transfer it here in like my little container, and maybe I'll have like a few servings for today, and because I already warmed up one of my chickens because I'm excited. And then put the rest in here, put that in a fridge, and you got yourself a good lunch for the next day. Give it a try. Alright, on that note, wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for watching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And if you are in the Philippines, perhaps may buntag, may udto, may hapon, may gabi. Salamat sa pagtanaw sa YouTube video. I want everyone to be happy, to take care of yourselves, and have fun. Life is short. Make the best of it and live your life to the fullest. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace.